Ito ang balitang dapat malaman ng taong bayan na tila pilit tinatago at pilit ayaw umanong ipalabas ng mga bayarang media sa publiko. Senator Chis Escudero tila ginulat at naisahan di umano ang majority bloc at tila may malaking pasabog sa palasyo matapos nga itong mahalal bilang isang presiding officer sa isang isinasagawang impeachment trial laban sa pangalawang pangulo. At Chis Escudero tila pumabor din kay Vice President Sara Duterte sa naturang paglilitis. Pero bago tayo magpatuloy, kung bago ka pa lang sa aking channel ay huwag mo nang kalimutang mag-like, comment at mag-subscribe para lagi kang updated sa mga susunod nating video. Sa kabila ng pagtutol ng minority, formal na inihala si Senator Chis Escudero bilang presiding officer ng Senate Impeachment Court para sa impeachment trial ni Vice President Sara Duterte. Bilang presiding officer, si Escudero ang ngasiwa sa mga pagdinig at pagpapatupad ng mga tuntunin ng impeachment court sa paglilitis laban sa Vice Presidente. Nilinaw rin ni Escudero na mananatiling 2/3 ng kabuuang 24 na miyembro ng Senado ang kinakailangang boto upang mahatulang guilty si Vice President Sara Duterte sa impeachment trial. Ibig sabihin 16 na boto ang kailangan upang makonvict at mapatalsik sa pwesto ang Vice Presidente. Ayon kay Escudero, ito ang voting threshold na itinatadhana ng konstitusyon para sa impeachment cases kung saan kinakailangan ang boto ng 2/3 ng lahat ng senador at hindi lamang ng mga dumalo sa paglilitis. At para sa buong detalye pa ng balita, narito't panoorin natin ang full video.
Another good news, pag-usapan natin, ongoing na ang day 1 impeachment trial ni VP Sara. Nagsalita na, nagbalitaktakan na Luistro, lead House Prosecution, and Attorney Sison, lead Defense Counsel ni VP Sara. Una, nagmotion si Congresswoman Luistro na kung pwede, ang Vice President is ma-arraign today. Yung mag-plead guilty siya or not guilty sa mga articles of impeachment na inihain sa kanya. Yun ang motion ni Luistro. Mamaya, sumagot si Attorney Sison. Ang galing ng sagot. Inisa-isa niya. Ang ganda ng pagkalatag. Nag-decide ang presiding officer. Mabuti na lang at si Senator Escudero ang presiding officer. Kasi kung si Gatchalian, nako, madidelay ang trial. Escudero, the presiding officer, flatly rejected. Motion denied. Hindi pa pwede ngayon hindi pwedeng i-arraign ang VP Sara ngayon kung mag-plead guilty ba o not guilty sa mga articles of impeachment. Ano ba? Meron pa siya isang motion na kung pwedeng babasahin na ngayon ang articles of impeachment. Another, denied. Later on na lang sa ganito. Nakakaano. So ito ngayon, dahil na-deny yung motion niya, nagpatuloy na lang siya sa kanyang opening statement. So after his opening statement, si Attorney Sison naman, Maria Sheila Sison, ang magbibigay ng opening statement. Pakinggan natin si Congresswoman Luistro.
Your Honors, the prosecution will present exactly what the Constitution requires. Evidence. Hindi chismis. Hindi haka-haka. Hindi propaganda. At lalong hindi sokmed narrative. Evidence. Official records. Financial documents. Government reports. Video recording. Statements under oath. Independent findings of institutions created by law. Mga dokumento na hindi bumoboto. Mga records na walang partido. Mga katotohanan na walang kulay pampolitika. Sa unang tingin, maaring magmukhang magkakahiwalay ang 4 articles of impeachment. Confidential fund, unexplained wealth, bribery and corruption, threat against constitutional order. But these are not 4 separate stories. These are 4 chapters of the same story. Story about power exercised without accountability. Story about public trust betrayed. Story about public office that stopped answering to the public. On the first article of impeachment, the evidence will show that more than 612 million pesos in confidential fund entrusted to the Office of the Vice President and the Department of Education were disbursed, transferred, and liquidated under circumstances that cannot withstand scrutiny. 612 million pesos. Hindi ito pera ng gobyerno. Pera ito ng sambayanan. Pera ng manggagawa. Pera ng magsasaka. Pera ng OFW. Pera ng guro. Pera ng bawat Pilipino na nagbabayad ng buwis at nagtitiwala na gagamitin ito ng tama. The evidence will show liquidation reports supported by questionable documents. The evidence will show acknowledgement receipts bearing names government records could not verify. Names that transformed accountability into a mockery. Pananagutan na naging kalukuhan. Names that insulted the intelligence of the Filipino people. Mary Grace Piatos, Milky Sikuya, Kokoy Filamin. On the second article of impeachment, the evidence will show financial transactions involving billions of pesos associated with a respondent and her husband. Billions. Hindi milyon, bilyon. At habang milyon-milyong Pilipino ang nagtratrabaho at nag-iipon buong buhay upang magkaroon ng sariling bahay, makapagpaaral ng mga anak, magkaroon ng kaunting seguridad para sa pamilya. Aba, bilyon-bilyong piso ang dumaan sa mga bank accounts na hindi maipaliwanag ng maayos. This article is not about wealth. This is about accountability. This is about explanation. If wealth was lawfully acquired, where is the lawful explanation? If transactions were proper, where is the complete accounting? If numbers truly add up, then why do they refuse to reconcile? On the third article of impeachment, the evidence will show bribery, graft and corruption through the distribution of cash payments and monetary gifts to officials under the supervision of the respondent. This article is not simply about envelopes. This is about institution. This is about whether loyalty was purchased rather than...
Anyway, that's the usual Luistro, noon pang House Committee on Justice Proceedings, ganyan na siya. Nag-o-opening statement, kailang propaganda. But, tingnan natin, ulitin ko, kanina pag motion niya na basahin yung articles of impeachment, tapos si VP Sara i-arraign, mag-plead guilty or not guilty sa mga articles, sinupalpal, denied kaagad ang motion niya, talong-talo siya doon sa napakagandang paliwanag ni Attorney Season. So, bloodbath has begun. Bigyan natin ng reaction, opinion, itong article published sa Manila Times. Title, Designation of Escudero violates the Constitution, law expert says. The designation of Senator Francis Escudero as the presiding officer in the impeachment trial of Vice President Sara Duterte runs counter to the intent of the framers of the Constitution and puts the ongoing proceedings at risk of being declared void. Void, baliwala. Para bang nung last year na impeachment case, ano ba yun? Void ab initio, defective from the beginning. So parang ganito rin, void pa rin itong impeachment trial dahil ang intent ng mga framers ng Constitution, ang presiding officer should be the Senate President. Eh bakit binutuhan pa nila si Escudero as presiding officer? International law consultant Melissa Loha said the records of the 1986 Constitutional Commission show that the framers intended the Senate President to preside over all impeachment trials except those involving the President, although that is not explicitly stated in the Constitution. Ano ba? Loha said, an exchange between Commissioners Christian Munsod and Hilario Divide Jr. on July 28, 1986 left little doubt on who should preside in all other impeachment cases outside the President. Oh. Sabi niya, is it not understood that when the President of the Philippines is on trial, it is the only time when the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court will preside? Is it necessary to say that the Senate President shall preside during other times? Munsod said, when Davide proposed an amendment to include the sentence, in all other cases, the President of the Senate shall preside. Upon hearing the clarification, however, Davide withdrew his proposed amendment. So, klaro talaga. In retrospect, mas maganda na lang sana inilagay yung proposal ni Davide para klaro ngayon. Kaya lang dahil pumayag si Hilario Davide na tanggalin na lang yung proposal niya, ibig sabihin, very clear ang intent na in all other impeachment cases, it should be the Senate President who will preside. The only case na hindi mag-preside ang Senate President, kung yung Presidente ang nasasakdal, it's the Chief Justice of Supreme Court who will preside. Loha said this exchange was significant because the Supreme Court has repeatedly relied on the framers' deliberations in interpreting constitutional provisions. She also argued that while the Constitution authorizes the Senate to adopt its own impeachment rules, the authority does not extend to changing or overriding the Constitution itself. So sabi niya, hence, any rule that the Senate adopted which is contrary to the Constitution is void. Okay? Loha maintained that the Senate rule allowing Escudero to preside over the impeachment trial, despite the constitutional intent, is invalid, and any proceedings conducted under such a rule could be questioned as legally defective. She said the presiding officer exercises critical powers during the trial, including issuing rulings on objections and procedural matters, and that if the officer's authority is unconstitutional, those rulings will be void ab initio or from the beginning. Grabe. Loha warned that the Senate majority faces the risk of having the impeachment trial invalidated if it continues under what she described as an unconstitutional rule governing presiding officer. Okay, so sinerch ko, who is Melissa Loha? Is she really an international law expert? O ito, sinerch, is Melissa Loha an international law expert? Ang sagot is yes. Dr. Melissa Loha is an accomplished international law expert with extensive academic credentials and prominent public profile in legal analysis. She holds a PhD in international law from the University of Hong Kong. She serves as a postdoctoral fellow at the University of Copenhagen Center for European Comparative and Constitutional Legal Studies. Her research covers critical areas of public international law and legal theory. Mabigat ito. So, nakinig ako sa balitaktakan nila kasi nagbotohan eh. Ang walong minority members, lahat sila against. Isinite nila yung intent ng framers of Constitution. Kaya lang, yung majority, kasi yun ang gusto nila, bumoto yung 12 na Escudero. Kasi, kung si Gatchalian ang mag-preside, talagang nakikita nila na ang trial will not go smoothly kasi nakikita nila kulang sa kaalaman si Gatchalian sa pag-preside ng napaka-importanting impeachment trial na ito. So, but to me, blessing in disguise. Bakit? Yung pag-preside ni Escudero kahapon, nakita ko yung fairness. It's a blessing in disguise na bumaliktad siya at siya ang pinili ng majority na mag-preside. Ako, opinion ko lang ito I can expect a fair trial ni BP Sara dahil nandyan si Escudero na may paninindigan. Kaya pagbigyan natin siya ng chance, yung pagbaliktad niya, kalimutan lang muna natin ngayon, tutukan natin, dapat magkaroon ng patas na pagdinig. At si Escudero, napatunayan niya, sa aking observation, patas. Kasi ang mga naging desisyon niya, yung number of conviction votes, sinabi niya na, 16. O yung motion ni Luis Ro, dininay niya kagad. Pinagbigyan niya, panalo ang defense. Something like that. Bigyan natin ng reaction opinion itong post ni Attorney Lodalbe Vista, isang international law expert. Escudero's official ruling settles the 16 vote requirement. An official pronouncement. During his remarks from the podium as presiding officer of the Senate Impeachment Court, Senator Francisco Escudero categorically ruled that 16 affirmative votes are required to convict. He further declared that this ruling may be overturned only through a judicial determination by the Supreme Court. Escudero was not speaking as an ordinary senator, a resource person, or a guest in a television interview. He was acting as a duly elected presiding officer while the Senate was formally convened as an impeachment court. Accordingly, his pronouncement was an official act made in the exercise of the court's authority. The ruling settles. Tapos na. Game over. For purposes of the ongoing impeachment trial, the constitutional question regarding the number of votes required for conviction. The Constitution requires the concurrence of 2/3 of all members of the Senate, which the presiding officer declared to mean 16 votes. Napaka-importante po yun. Whether individuals agree or disagree with that interpretation is legally immaterial. Wala nang silbi. Example, Carpio, ex-Supreme Court Justice Carpio, sinasabi niya, bababa daw yan. Sino pa? Gatchalian. Sinabi niya, bababa daw yan. Rapi Tulfo, bababa yan. Wala na. Sino pa ba yung nagsasabing pwedeng babaan yung threshold? Immaterial na yan, yung mga opinion. Is legally immaterial within the proceedings. It is the ruling presently governing the impeachment court. The legal consequences is straightforward. No individual senator, no block of senators, no motion, no resolution, no parliamentary maneuver, and no subsequent public statement can alter the required number. The issue has been treated as a constitutional determination. Under the presiding officer's ruling, only the Supreme Court may reverse it. The law, as officially declared by the presiding officer of the Senate Impeachment Court, remains that conviction requires 16 affirmative votes and that ruling stands unless and until the Supreme Court decides otherwise. May nabasa akong comment dito, kilala ko ito aking professor, Jack Green III. Professor ko ito sa college. Salamat sir sa pag-comment. Sabi niya, the game is over. Even if all the 13 majority members will vote in unison for conviction, that is short of 3 votes to convict. And I doubt if 3 from the minority siguro ito. If 3 from the minority will join the 13, some of them may not even vote for conviction to allow a vote of 16 to convict. Ergo, the game will soon be over. Sana, wag mapunta sa kalsada ang outcome ng impeachment process as it was in 2001 impeachment case against Estrada, given the realities at hand. Meantime, the live show continues. Dagdag niya, I think the number of acquittal vote is irrelevant because the number 16 votes implies acquittal. So, may nagtatanong, paano yung acquittal? Kailangan bang siyam? Paano kung maipreso na lahat ang minority at ang mag-vote ng acquittal is, sabihin na lang natin, 7 na lang, 6 na lang. It is immaterial yung acquittal vote. What matters is yung conviction. Okay, so klaro na. 16. Paano sila makakuha ng 16? 13 lang sila. Ano sa tingin nyo? Meron bang 3 dito sa minority na tatawid at boboto na conviction? Kaya game over na talaga. At again, magpasalamat ako. Personally, I don't know sa inyo nagpapasalamat ako kay Senator Escudero na siya ang na-designate ngayon na presiding officer. All things, Romans 8:28, all things work together for good to those who love God, to those who are called according to His purpose. Totoo nga, dahil sa pagbaliktad ni Escudero, naagaw nila ang Senate majority. Okay. So, ang na-stop lang is yung flood control investigation. Wala nating asahan. Pagdating sa impeachment trial ni VP Sara, dahil mahina nga ang kanilang Senate President, iskul bukol. Hindi niya talaga makaya. Kaya napilitan sila na bumoto ng isang presiding officer. Dalawa man ang pagpilian sana, Escudero and Pangilinan. So bakit hindi si Pangilinan? Bakit si Escudero? Ako, napatunayan ko na yung galing ni Senator Escudero as presiding officer kahapon. Yung kanyang mga diskarte. Wow, galing. Dininay niya kaagad yung motion ni Luistro na ma-arraign si VP Sara, yung mag-ano siya ng guilty or not guilty, yun yung arraignment. Deny kaagad. Tapos yung nag-announce siya ng 16, klaro kayo. Kaya, to me, Escudero is a blessing in disguise. Kaya, sa mga comments na binabasa ko, marami nang nagpapasalamat kay Escudero. So, bumabawi na si Escudero. Si Villanueva naman, nag-post siya tungkol sa impeachment trial na trabaho na ulit natin, magtrabaho tayo impeachment. Nako, yung laugh and angry emoji, pinotakti siya ng taong bayan. Hindi pa rin siya pinagbibigyan. Ngayon si Escudero is unti-unti nang bumabawi. Salamat po, Senator Escudero, our presiding officer. Very fair and objective, matalino.
Kaya naman anong masasabi mo sa balitang ito? Kung mayroon kang hinaing at komento ay mag-comment ka lamang sa ibaba ng videong ito. Maraming salamat.